Chicagoans, you can officially take the masks off. The city announced the new mask policy, aligning it with the new guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. However, the city's top doctor, Allison Arwady, says she strongly advises businesses to still require people to wear masks unless they can verify that they are fully vaccinated. And Mayor Lori Lightfoot says she will continue masking herself for now. And joining us now to help us understand the new guidelines is Dr. Allison Arwady, Commissioner of the Chicago Department of Public Health. Dr. Arwady, good to see you as always. And let's take a look at some of the changes here regarding masks and the new advice. So masks are no longer mandated for those fully vaccinated in most settings. Masks are still required in city-owned buildings and in hospitals, schools, and on public transit. And businesses are strongly advised to verify that people are vaccinated. So Dr. Arwady, you've seen that there is still some confusion among the public over what the new rules are. Is there anything you want to add to that or clarify about that?
Sure. I just remind folks that CDC guidance applies to people who are fully vaccinated 2 weeks post their second dose of vaccine, if they've gotten Pfizer or Moderna, or 2 weeks post their Johnson & Johnson dose. And if you are not fully vaccinated, you do need to continue wearing a mask. What we felt was that it was appropriate to follow the CDC guidance, follow the state, drop the mask mandate. But we know that it's hard for businesses to check vaccination status. And so for the short-term future here, while we still have some of the restrictions in place, still recommending that unless businesses feel like they have the capacity to check, encouraging them to continue to have masks in place. And this is going to be a dime.
And there are some businesses that have gotten rid of the mask mandate. So how difficult will it be for them to verify whether folks are vaccinated?
Yeah, well, I think this is the challenge. It's not like we walk around, we don't have a vaccine passport. We're not wearing something obvious that says whether someone is vaccinated. We certainly are asking people if they are not to do the right thing and wear the mask, but we know not everybody is likely to do that. And so, if a business has made that decision, we would hope that they are asking to see people's vaccine cards, or at least asking them. We know that may not be happening. We are in this transition phase. And I would just encourage people to do the right thing. And if they have concerns themselves, again, for the short term, keep wearing that mask. I certainly am continuing to wear it when I'm in indoor settings. Again, just for the short term here, really until we get to phase 5.
And phase 5, which might be in place by the time Lollapalooza happens in late July, and that festival announced it's coming back in full force to Grant Park without capacity limits. Is there a risk here with the virus still around in some capacity that it could be a super spreader event?
So the reason that we felt confident bringing Lollapalooza back were a few things. Number one, we are expecting to be at that phase 5 open capacity by then, maybe even before then, if we keep seeing good progress. Number two, it's outdoors. But number three, everybody attending is going to need to be either fully vaccinated or get a test every single day of attendance showing that they're negative. With those things in place, vaccination really does help protect. We feel confident that we'll be able to bring this back really as safely as possible.
And so does that mean those at the gate are going to have to check every single person? And now there's upwards of 400,000 people that attend over those 4 days. They're going to have to check every person, attendee, for a vaccination card or a proof of a negative test. It sounds to me like there could be very long lines to get in.
Yeah, so we're not planning an on-site check of that. There's going to be more information coming by early July. There will be the opportunity to be sharing that information in advance, likely electronically. We're working on some of the details of that. Obviously, this has been a larger conversation, but we will figure out, and Lollapalooza is very committed to figuring out the way to operationalize this. Bottom line, you want to make this easy for yourself, get vaccinated now so that you're fully vaccinated. Remember, 2 weeks post your second dose. By the time we get to the end of July, beginning of August, and Lollapalooza.
All right, we're going to follow exactly how that's going to work, and we have about a month and a half or 2 months to figure that out before Lollapalooza and other concerts and festivals happen. At the same time, the rate of vaccination is slowing. It's way down from where it was. Do you think that incentives like going to Lollapalooza, going to other festivals, will get some of those holdouts into the vaccination line?
Yeah, we think certainly that's part of it. Most people, of course, are getting vaccinated to protect themselves, their families, their communities. But we know that there are people who may get tipped over that decision point by the opportunity to go to a concert or win an incentive. And where that makes sense and it's in line with our goals, it's certainly something we're supporting. We will be sharing more incentives tied to vaccination related to Lollapalooza, but also to other events. And we've had lots of people really stepping up around the city saying, I want to help. I want to get Chicago back. What can I do to help encourage people to get vaccine? And it's been a really nice way to see Chicago step up.
And the news around the vaccine has been almost universally positive, except for the fact that people with compromised immune systems, there's some data showing that the vaccine isn't quite effective. People with conditions like rheumatoid or arthritis, you're hearing of people getting breakthrough cases or even dying. So what should people with autoimmune diseases do to stay safe?
Yeah, so always we recommend people with autoimmune diseases or really any individual concerns, have that conversation with your doctor. The recommendation is still very much to get vaccinated, but there are some concerns that your protection level may not be as high. And so, for example, they may recommend that you continue to wear a mask, continue to distance. This is a small number of people, though, I want to emphasize. It's not everybody with, any potential autoimmune problem, but there have been a limited number of folks who the vaccine you don't mount as much of an immune response. And for those folks, those are other reasons why you may see people, even if they're vaccinated, continuing to wear masks, or if you've got someone who's at risk. But for the great majority of people, getting vaccinated is by far the best protection. Vaccine's safe, it's effective. We're so lucky to have a vaccine that remains protective against all of the known variants. And getting vaccinated now is how we protect everybody at the population level.
It's a small group of people, but it's people that we know, and folks with autoimmune diseases will be concerned about that. Also, there still is a bit of a lag in the black and brown communities. Why does that still exist at this point?
There is. And that's something that we've seen all over the country. We actually, when you look at the largest cities, Chicago has the best coverage for both Latinx and Black Chicagoans, but it is nowhere near enough. And I think it's a combination of there's still people who feel like I don't need to get the vaccine if I had COVID, which isn't true. You should still get the vaccine, even if you had and recovered from COVID. People feeling like they're not at risk. And then just people who have very busy lives. We've been working to bring vaccine into communities that are less vaccinated all over the city and really making it convenient for folks. And it's not so much, there are some people who say I'm never getting vaccinated, more who say, oh, this is convenient for me. Let me tick this off in terms of something to do. So every day we're seeing those numbers tick up. It's certainly something we continue to be very focused on.
All right, Dr. Allison Arwady, thank you for joining us as always.
Thank you.